going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by the garage today. Extreme Daily Drivers in the house. Got an awesome one today. We are actually going to be installing a catback system for our 2006 Jeep Commander, aka the Cobra Commander. And look what I got right here. Oh, is there anything more beautiful than a giant box filled with exhaust piping? That's right. Went to Amazon, as you guys know I always do. Picked up the latest and greatest. Look at this 3-inch. Oh. Look at this awesome 3-inch tubing. This is a kit from MBRP. Yeah, $420 shipped or something like that. Basically the best deal going. Link down in the description as always. And I'm gonna lay these parts out here so you guys get a good idea what we're dealing with. So here we have it, the 3-inch MBRP. Check it out. Stamp there on the muffler. This is for the 4.7. I believe it's the exact same setup if you have the Hemi. But yeah, man, this is a good deal, and it should add some horsepower. This nice tip. Now this tip, it's actually got some instructions in there. This tip we're going to be installing for now, but we aren't going to be leaving it on there. We're going to wind up changing that out for a downpipe sometime soon down the road. But we're going to run what we brung for today. We got our installation kit here with some clamps and some bolts and some directions. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a cutoff wheel and get that old exhaust off the Commander.
2 hours later.
So as usual, this never goes as easy as you think it's gonna go. I've been at this for like over an hour trying to get the old exhaust off, and I got it down to 1 bolt. And you know, as you can imagine, the exhaust has been on there for 16 years. Doesn't want to come off easily. Down to 1 bolt, and I had to actually run out to the store to buy something. But I think we're gonna get it off now. Check this guy out. Yeah, that bolt is about to lose its battle. Dude, that bolt stood no chance with that reciprocating saw. If you guys are gonna do this at your house, make sure you have one of those reciprocating saws. I got that for 50 bucks at Harbor Freight. Dude, I would have had this done in 15 minutes if I had that tool, because I literally would have sawed through everything. But it's off, all right? It's off. So let's compare the two exhausts. So here we go. We got them laid out here. This is not exactly how this is supposed to be orientated, but this is kind of like the best way I can kind of put them on display here. Had to cut this guy up into a couple pieces in order to actually get him out from underneath the car, because I didn't lift up the Jeep in any way. So I'm working with limited ground clearance. But yeah, man, check out the difference. I was shocked by how heavy this muffler is. This muffler's got to weigh 25 pounds. When I finally cut that final bolt off, it hit the ground with a thud, and my wife came outside and made sure I was okay. That's how heavy that thing is. And so between the two exhausts, I'd say probably maybe even saving 10 pounds. I mean, that muffler is just really, really heavy. And just overall way nicer quality. And we're also going with bigger tubing, as you can clearly see. This guy's 3-inch, like I said earlier, and I believe this is 2.5. So yeah, we should be able to get some more horsepower. It's definitely going to sound better. And I'm going to stop talking about it and get this guy mounted up so we can hear it. All right, man. The marathon's over. Got it installed. I will tell you this. I'm not thrilled with how it's installed. I did my best to maneuver it so it wasn't touching anything. It seemed to be lying on a piece of metal. It's like a piece that goes over the axle. So it's like a brace. It's not lying on the axle. It's like on a brace. It needs to be, I like it. I would like it off that, like a 1/2 inch. And I had it set up that way, and I tightened all the brackets down, all the clamps to the max. They can only go so tight. You'd understand if you did it. And it's still a little loose, it seems like. It needs to be welded. So anyway, it is what it is. I've done the best I can do in my garage. I would recommend that if you guys are doing this, that you know a welder, or you're good at welding, or you're nearby to a good exhaust shop. I think it's going to be serviceable, but it would be better if it were welded. So anyway, that's my take on the MBRP exhaust install. Here's the final product. Not 1,000% crazy about how this is kind of resting on the bumper there. I'm assuming it over time it'll probably blister or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, this tip, I'm not gonna be running this forever. This is gonna be coming off, and I'm gonna put a little downpipe mostly for off-road reasons. If you ever take your car off-road and you do anything semi-serious, having a low hanging exhaust tip is the first thing that gets ripped off. So we don't want that to happen, so I'll be installing a little downpipe, like I said, to replace this guy. And other than that, kind of show you under here how it's installed. You can see the muffler there, hangers, all that good stuff. And yeah, I think we're ready to turn this thing on, and let's see how she sounds. One more thing I want to add is that the exhaust tip goes on with an 8mm Allen wrench, which it did not come with. And it's difficult to kind of do because of the way it's situated with the bumper and the whole bit. But anyway, I'm kind of nitpicking. If you have any kind of tools at your house, you should have one of those 8mm Allen wrenches. So let's go ahead and turn this guy on, see what she sounds like. I'd be surprised, or I wouldn't be surprised if it rattled. You ready? Yeah, buddy. What do you think of that? That's a cold startup, so you gotta give it a minute to kind of mellow out. But oh wow, a lot louder, that's for sure. And it's starting to mellow out. Where are we at here? Yeah, the RPMs are dropping down. You can hear it, yeah, it's mellowing out. Much quieter, much better. What do you guys think, huh? Dude, it sounds mean. It sounds like a V8 now. Give it a little gas here. What do you guys think of that? Comment below. Let's go take it for a test drive. All right, let's give it a little gas. Woo! That's nice. That's nice. The car definitely feels faster. I feel like I say that every time I do a mod. But it does, man. It feels faster. I didn't even reset the battery. On these cars, they actually learn like your driving habits. When you reset the battery, it kind of sets it back to 0. And the computer will make some subtle changes based on your driving habits. So it's always good whenever you do a power mod, like an intake, exhaust, headers, to reset the battery, at least on this vehicle. Not every vehicle is like that, but in this car it is. So I didn't even do that, and I'm already kind of feeling the benefits of the exhaust. Driving around, like right now, I'm coasting. You barely hear it. I got my windows open. It's not bad. I mean, it's loud on initial startup, for sure. But just cruising around, it's not bad. I don't think it's obnoxious as of right now. Maybe my mind will change over time, but I think it sounds pretty darn good, man. It really does. My neighbor had a similar exhaust, and here, give some gas here. Just slight acceleration. I'm not flooring it or anything like that. This is typically how I would drive. It's good. It's good. I like it. I don't hear it knocking around. I'm surprised. I am not in love with those clamps. Those clamps could do better, for sure. But it sounds good, man. I'm happy with it. So anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think of this exhaust. I did go with this one. It's a little cheaper than some of the other options. It's a lot cheaper than another option I was considering. So 420 bucks, it's a good deal. It's nice equipment. Again, the clamps bother me a little bit, but they're like well designed. They're nice clamps. They're just not holding. So yeah, that's it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Lots more coming on the Jeep Commander. I know these videos don't get a ton of views, but guess what? I'm making the videos anyway. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you next time. Later. What are you guys still doing here? Well, I'll tell you what, since you're here, I'm going to go ahead and give you an update. The exhaust has been on the Jeep for a week. I've actually made some changes in just a week, believe it or not. Let me show you first about the clamps. All right, so we made some changes with the clamps. Now, let me show you what you get with the kit. I got one laying around here somewhere. Boom, here it is. You see this guy here? This is what you get with the kit. Now, this is a really pretty looking clamp, if you ask me. When I pulled it out of the box, I was really impressed about how awesome this thing looks. I've never seen an exhaust clamp like this before, and I was really excited about installing it. And after I went ahead and tightened everything down, and I tightened this clamp as tight as it'll go, there's a breaking point where it will not go any further. And after I tightened all three of these suckers down, put my hand on the exhaust and went to move it, and the entire exhaust moved ever so slightly back and forth, and I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, after a test drive, I could hear it moving down underneath the car, and I was like, we're gonna have to make a change to these guys, because like I said, they get to a certain point and they won't tighten anymore. So what I did was I went with the more traditional mount that I got off of Amazon for $5 each. So I got 3 of those, so 15 bucks, and I'm trying to find one. I have one laying around the garage here, if you bear with me a second. This is a smaller version of, where the heck is it? It's a smaller version of what I actually put on the car, but you'll get the idea. Is it in here? No, it's not in here. Give me a second, I'll find it. All right, it took me a second, but this is what I'm talking about. I know you guys are familiar with this kind of setup, and what I like about it is, number one, you can tighten the heck out of it, and number two, it's got 2 points to tighten, not just one like that other bracket that I showed you. So went ahead, switch these guys out. I got a link down in the description if you want to get yourself some 3-inch clamps, and that solved that problem, made it rock solid. Now, the second issue that I ran into pretty quickly was that the tip that came with the exhaust, this guy here, quickly started to mount my bumper. It was ever so slightly, and I was able to trim the bumper a little bit and make this guy fit, but it was still really snug, and I was worried about taking it out on the highway and this thing like basically catching my car on fire. So again, I went to Amazon and I got a 3-inch tip. I mentioned earlier in the video that I was going to do like a little down tip thing, and that's what I did right here. Check it out, stainless steel, and I think it was like 40 bucks or something like that. It comes with a really nice clamp, goes on there real nice. You're real happy with the way it looks, and fits perfect. So how is it living with this exhaust since I've had it for a week? Is it too loud? Is it drone on the highway? Is it annoying? Do the neighbors hate it? I'm actually really fine with it. Initially, when I first installed it, you guys might have been able to tell in the video, I thought it was really loud. And now that I've had it on the car for a week, it hasn't mellowed out. I wouldn't say that, but it's not nearly as loud on initial startup as it is once the car gets going. When it initially starts up, it's really loud. I wouldn't back this car up against a wall in a parking lot or your garage door or anything like that, because the resonance will just be too much. Your neighbors will hate you forever. But for just, driving around normally, it's fine. And on the highway, I've taken it on the highway a couple times now, it does not drone. I mean, this car, I don't drive fast. So, I mean, when I'm on the highway, I'm at like 2,000 RPM. Like it's just cruising. And at 2,000 RPM, man, you can't hear it at all. One last thing, I did a really bad job kind of showing it in the video, but the reason I changed the exhaust out and not just the muffler is because the muffler was getting a hole in it, a rust hole, and it was almost totally through the muffler. So the muffler was really taking a crap, and also one of the hangers for the second hanger for the exhaust was completely rusted to smithereens. It was only a matter of time for that thing just broke off. So that's why I went ahead and got a whole cap back and everything else. If everything was in great shape, I probably would have just changed out the muffler. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out, stopping by the garage. And if you took a really good look at this video, you might have seen a sneak peek to what's coming next week. So stay tuned for that. Next week's video is going to be awesome. Installed a really cool part that just is badass. So anyway, I'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Later.